What's up, NBA fan? What's up, all sports fans? It's your boy JB, host of the Behind the Bench Podcast Network channel, giving a shout out to the rest of the crew. Shad, Kelvin, KB Film Room, Big Dog Talk Sports. That's right, that's right. Everyone who's tuning in, thank you for supporting Behind the Bench. Subscribe to the channel. Help make this show the best that it could be as we are reaching the end of 2024, gearing up for 2025. Now let's talk some NBA action from yesterday. Man, all I can say is this was a devastating loss. Now, mind you, for everyone who tunes in on the regular, everybody pretty much can come to a conclusion that I'm a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, man. And I've been totally opposed to this whole situation over the past 6, going on 7 seasons now. To me, it's been a nightmare. And despite that reality and reaction that's been going on, that loss last night to the Atlanta Hawks, that hit home, man. It was like, wow. And the reason that it hit home is because this should let the Laker brass know and the front office know that the gig is up, the gig has been up, and they need to regain control of this franchise. That's why it hit home to me the way it did yesterday. As the Lakers went into Atlanta to face the Hawks, both teams are about 500. The Lakers have lost 3 straight games while Atlanta has been playing much better as of late. And both teams play hard. It's really not about criticizing one particular player. It's not about that. Because both superstars for the Lakers, they played yesterday. They had good games. The Hurricane, he had a good game yesterday. Anthony Davis, he had a very good game yesterday. Both players scored over 30 points. The Hurricane had close to a 40-point triple-double. But the problem is, and this is what we've been trying to, like basketball fans have been trying to share with supporters of the Hurricane, he's never been a great closer. And when you can't close, more often than not, you're going to lose those games in the end. But like I said, this is not a video to rag on one individual. It's really about it's the end of the road, and it's been the end of the road. But I must say, the Atlanta Hawks featured the top-rated scoring bench in the NBA, and they showed that and displayed it in full force last night. For their second unit, scored a total of 65 points, with DeAndre Hunter scoring big last night, Bogdanovich scoring big last night, and they totaled 65 points coming off the bench. They scored close to half of Atlanta's points as Atlanta went on to defeat the Lakers in OT overtime by the score of 134-132 with Trae Young, who did not shoot well last night, but he did dish out 20 assists. He did dish out 20 assists. But the shot that mattered most, he hit it. As they call him, Ice Trae. And he hit that dagger shot, man. And that's one of them shots where as soon as he released the shot, you knew it was going in. And that was a devastating loss for the Lakers. And that's the kind of loss, man, that can, it can break you. This is only 23 games to the season. And it's not even, the holidays haven't even hit yet. But that loss right there, that can break you. Like, coming off of 2 real bad losses, the loss to Miami the other night where they lost by 41 points. So you knew they was going to play better. in their next game versus Atlanta. And Atlanta was actually trying to, I don't want to say trying to give the Lakers the game, but they turned the ball over in very key stages of the game. In the third quarter, the Lakers went out to, they built up a 11, 12 point lead. Then Atlanta came right back and made a significant run to close the gap to a possession. And from that point on, it just went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And wow. And at the end of the day, the Lakers are now, they have fallen to a 10th place in the Western Conference. And this has been the pattern with this team really since the year of the bubble. The season that followed the year of the bubble, they finished 7th seed as a defending champion. Now, mind you, this was a truncated schedule of 72 games. They finished the season 42-30. They lost to the first round to the Phoenix Suns, who went on to advance to the finals that year. And then the next year, in 2022, they collapsed and finished with a record of 33-49 and did not even qualify for the play-in. And then the following season, they was on the verge of missing the playoffs for the second straight year. And then they got a total team overhaul mid-season, and that gave them a push. And I believe, when you get a brand new team like that mid-season, we don't see that every day, if at all. Teams that they matched up against for the rest of the season and through the playoffs, they didn't have time to scout them properly. And then they ran into the Denver Nuggets in the conference finals, and we all know the outcome of that series. And then last year, they did finish with 47 wins, but they still had to advance through the play-in to get to the playoffs. So I'm going to say they're actually falling from last year's pace. So at the end of the day, if they do not make the playoffs this year, or even if they do and get eliminated early on, because certain teams like Minnesota, they built up a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Lakers soundly, they beat the Clippers soundly, and they went into Golden State last night and beat Golden State soundly. And their defense is starting to pick up, which was reminiscent of last year's Timberwolves team that boasted the league's #1 ranked defense, which helped them advance to the Western Conference Finals last year. The Houston Rockets have taken a tremendous leap, similar to what OKC did last year. As of right now, Houston is tied for second place in the West with the Memphis Grizzlies, who are healthy now for the most part, and with the Dallas Mavericks, the defending conference champions. And then Denver Nuggets, you figure, they will improve as the season goes on. The Clippers have played above expectations. And at the end of the day, I believe Sacramento will start to play better. So this is what I've been talking about the whole time. And they have to put it into it. After this year, they have to put it into it because it's not going to get any better. Because, from the offseason they had leading into last year, when they signed Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, and the like, re-signing Rui Hachimura. Oh, that's right. And they signed Gabe Vincent too. And then re-signed Jared Vanderbilt, D'Angelo Russell. This was said to be a new young core, that the Lakers were now the deepest team in the league. They were ready to win a championship, and all that has vanished, gone with the wind. And because it was never really realistic. You see what I'm saying? So at some point you have to say, it is what it is, man, and just don't travel down this road again. You cannot, at the end of the day, and I know I done said it a million times, you cannot cast away and forego the true building process featuring an entire roster of tremendous young talent that you drafted over a 4-year period. You cannot exempt that and expect to succeed for a long period of time. And that's what the Laker organization is finding out as we speak. They'd have been better off just staying the course. I know it in my heart. It's not look at Houston. They done took a jump. Boom. Look what they've done. OKC, first place again. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. You see what I'm saying? Even Portland has improved from last year. San Antonio Spurs have improved from last year. So it's not going to get any easier. So why not just put an end to it? And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to realize that you mortgage a decade off, but that's the reality. So the Lakers are at a crossroads right now where if they try to, dig deeper into the rabbit hole and try to capitulate to the Hurricane one more time and make another round of trades, to try to stave out the eventual, you're looking at a situation where rather than struggling for 3 to 4 years, well, for the rest of the decade, now that decline will carry over an additional 5 years into the next decade. So by the time you can truly say that we recovered from this, we'll be talking about 2035. That's what we're looking at. That's the choice that the Lakers have. That's what they need to contemplate when this season is over. You know what I'm saying? They can't go for broke, or if they do, they're going to wind up being broken. They cannot go for broke no more. If not, they're going to be broken for the next 10 years. And at the end of the day, you should not have ever mortgage your franchise off for a player who was introduced to this franchise with 6 championship losses. So that trend was going to create a scenario where you're going to wind up losing more than you anticipate winning. It's no different than what happened in his previous stints. So put it into it. It's over, man. It's over. Like I said, I know it's tough to come to that realization, but I'd rather for it to be tough than to continue to try to fool yourself into thinking there's something there that is not. Or as they say, it's called fool's gold. So I just want to drop that nugget. Until next time, this is JB for BTB, Behind the Bench.